There was a time in the UFC when the heavyweights weren't just fighters, they were monsters.
They were doing a smell test back then for steroids. That's all they did. Yeah, you're good. Everybody passed.
And none of them captured the attention of the world more than Brock Lesnar.
The alpha male of our species.
The biggest genetic freak ever seen in the sport.
You are a Viking, right? Yes. I was born in the wrong century.
1,000 years ago, the only way you saw a guy like this is if they came up on your shore in a boat and then you ran.
This was Brock Lesnar's very first UFC fight. Despite his size, everyone doubted him.
Everybody thought, here comes a guy that there's no way in hell that he's going to make it in the UFC.
Coming over to mixed martial arts, it's a big jump.
With barely any MMA experience, Lesnar was set to fight the former UFC heavyweight champion, Frank Mir.
Oh, you think he's a pro wrestler? Please tell me no one else thinks this guy's just a pro wrestler.
Brock put everything on the line for one fight trial contract with the UFC.
I had to get out of the wrestling business back then to save my life.
Could a pro wrestler with no real MMA experience make it in the UFC? The world was about to find out. I took Frank down right away and was pounding him. The crowd was going crazy. The noise was deafening.
Just overpowered Mir.
I couldn't hear the referee when he pulled me off Frank. For a minute, I thought the fight had been stopped and that I had won. The referee said that I had illegally hit Frank in the back of the head. Frank was given some time to recover, but I immediately took him down again and resumed beating his ass. I had the fight won, but then I made a stupid mistake.
Very careful. Mir has a very dangerous guard.
I was in too much of a hurry to finish the fight, and I stepped into Frank's leg when he was on the ground.
He's in a dominant position now. Mir's in a lot of trouble. He's going for a footlock.
I tapped, and I had no one to blame but myself.
At that point, there's a picture of me, my hands are on my waist, and I just saw my entire life just fall off the cliff.
You've been really forthcoming, too, about some of your struggles during that time, that you were involved in some substance abuse.
Yeah, Vicodin and vodka were my closest friends.
Wow.
And my closest enemies.
Sure.
The insane schedule and physical demands of pro wrestling had taken a toll on Brock's body, which led to the self-medication.
There's like 2 years that I don't remember in my life.
All right, Brock, explain where you are and what you're doing.
Where am I today?
Were you addicted?
I don't know. What's addiction, you know? Did I take too damn many pills? Yeah. Did I drink too much? Yes. Did I become aware of that I was drinking and taking too many pills? Yes, I did.
Brock sees only one way out. He decides to quit wrestling.
If you want to get farther ahead in life, you gotta stick your neck out. Let's move on and do something different.
But MMA wasn't his first choice.
Number 69, Brock Lesnar, walked away from his $45 million career in wrestling and signed for $230,000 to try to make it with the Vikings.
Free agent tryout with the Vikings, you created quite a media buzz for a couple of weeks.
Look at that.
Like, what are you, were you like a fish out of water? You hadn't played football since your senior year in Webster High School in South Dakota.
We can't just glance over that either. I think it's insane. You went to Minnesota Vikings training camp and you'd never played football in your entire life.
We got in a training camp and I was there 2 days and I told myself, what am I doing here? You know, because I was just totally lost.
Brock Lesnar has given it everything he's got this entire preseason. He's been a fan favorite. I thought it's been a good signing. And I think he found out something about this league, how professional it is and what it takes to succeed. And it's more than just athletic ability and talent and strength and all that kind of stuff.
Brock was the last guy cut from the team.
The paychecks stop coming in, but the bills still keep coming, right? The IRS showed up at my doorstep. Wow. I was in a custody battle for my daughter. It was living hell. 2004 to 2006, some of the worst years of my life.
He translates that hardship into a symbol.
The meaning behind it was, I felt like my back was against the wall and somebody had a sword, a knife stuck to my throat. Like, what are you gonna do now? You know what I mean?
I wanted to compete as a real athlete. I wanted to test myself. I'm a competitor, and that competition is what drives me. It's in my blood. It's what I was made for.
Now, mixed martial arts. What in the world are we talking about here? Do you know what you're doing in the ring? This is not like a Vince McMahon orchestrated situation here. This is the real deal sort of stuff here, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I had my goals set, but I also had a problem. The UFC saw me as a WWE fake wrestler. Yes, I had a name, but I had no MMA experience to speak of, which meant I had to start somewhere else.
And you guys remember K1 in the 90s was real big. They presented a fight to me, and that was actually my first fight ever, was with that company.
I felt alive again. After all I had been through, it didn't matter who they put in front of me that first fight. I had a new lease on life, and I wasn't going to fail. My job to me was easy. Wait for the referee to say fight and go right after Min-Soo Kim. Poor bastard had no idea what he was in for. I took him right down and pounded him out. The fight lasted 69 seconds, and I walked away without a scratch on me.
Is this going to be like a one-hit wonder for you? You're going to try to do this?
I don't think so. This is my career. This is my new life, my new chance, my new beginning. This is who I am.
Guys, you've been requesting it for the past 2 years. You know what's coming.
All right, let's get the show started. The reigning, defending, 155-pound champion of the UFC, the notorious Conor McGregor.
I'll be releasing McGregor Supernova Part 2 in July. Members and supporters on YouTube and Patreon will get to watch it first with no ads or interruptions, exactly as intended. If you want to support the channel, get early access, bonus content, your name in the credits, subscribe to membership, guys. It goes a long way.
Baby, we done it. Break out the red panties.
I wanted to get into the big leagues, and there was only one big league at the time, and it was UFC.
In WWE, you need to get Vince McMahon's attention. In the UFC, that man is Dana White.
Dana White wanted nothing to do with me.
Wouldn't take my phone calls.
Wouldn't take your phone calls.
No.
Oh, tell me that story.
Did you ever find out why at the beginning he didn't have interest?
Because I had no credibility. I was an amateur wrestler and a fake entertainer.
So I said, fine. Randy Couture was fighting Gabriel Gonzaga for the heavyweight title. And I said, we'll buy a ticket and we'll go to the show.
I sat there in the stands.
And at the end of the show, I jumped the guardrail and escaped a few security guards.
And ran to the octagon and grabbed Dana and I introduced myself. I said, I'm Brock Lesnar.
When I told him originally, I said, listen, the UFC isn't the place to learn how to fight. He said to me, I'm either good at this or I'm not, and I want to find out right now.
Dana had to leave for a press conference, but I wanted an answer. I got the one I was looking for. The UFC was going to give me a shot. And 5 months later, Brock gets submitted by Frank Mir. Losing to Frank was one of the worst moments of my life because I lost to someone who simply did not deserve to beat me. On his best day, he's not even half the athlete I am on my worst.
I'm sure it bothers him every time people talk about me. I made him tap. I made him scream uncle.
And I went back to the locker room and I was like, I screwed it up. And Dana comes in and he's like,
that was a fun fucking fight, dude. That was so fun. Dude.
It ain't over. I hope it ain't.
Dana's like, no, you're not done. And then the next day, we negotiated a real contract.
Wow.
I wanted Frank Mir again, and I wanted him in the worst way. Every thought I had about Frank was consumed with bad intentions. I knew I'd have to work my way through some people to get back to Frank, but I didn't care who they put in front of me.
That was the day that I said, this guy absolutely belongs in the UFC.
Anybody had any questions about whether or not this guy's for real, they have to answer.
I saw exactly what I wanted. A rematch against Frank Mir.
Brock Lesnar wants to get that loss off of his record. He wants to redeem himself.
Not that I dislike Frank. It's the fact that he beat me. That burns deeper than anything else.
But the UFC had other plans.
I can tell you this right now, Couture versus Lesnar will be the biggest fight in UFC history.
I was going to fight Randy Couture for the UFC Heavyweight Championship of the world.
If you're a fan, casual or otherwise, it is not a fight to be missed.
Randy is the godfather of MMA, a living, breathing legend who is still one tough old bastard. I could not ask for a bigger or better opportunity in life.
Well, I think it's going to be a very interesting fight. Obviously, Brock poses some interesting problems. He's a very big, very athletic guy.
I am younger than him. I am bigger and I am stronger. He's faced those demons before, but I don't think quite the demon that I am.
I didn't enter the octagon holding Randy on some pedestal above me. I didn't even look at him as an equal. I looked across the octagon, and all I saw was the person I was going to smash and beat for the heavyweight title.
That's how confident I was, though. That's what I mean. You got to have something inside that makes you believe in order to achieve, you know?
If you look at what Brock Lesnar did, the guy comes over from the WWE and actually becomes the heavyweight champion of the world.
It's literally impossible.
So inevitably, people started asking questions.
Is Brock Lesnar on steroids?
Of course, they've all done something.
Yeah.
When you first sat down with Brock, did you ask him about steroids?
No, listen, in this day and age, with everything that's going on in sports, if you're taking steroids, you're a moron.
You're just so big and you come out of the world of pro wrestling.
We're done. Thanks, guys.
Yo, I guess the interview's over.
See y'all later.
You know, it's a tricky topic. Personally, I care about my health, but I like to keep it clean and simple. So I take AG1. It includes vitamins, minerals, pre and probiotic, and adaptogens that support your foundational health.
Can you see me now?
It's even NSF certified for sport, which is like the gold standard for quality and safety certification.
No! I'm coming for you, motherfucker! God, please, no!
I think they're okay back there.
No! Beat him over the head with it! Woo!
It also helps with digestion, so I always travel with it. All you need is a little bit of water. And 1 scoop or travel pack of AG1. Shake it up a bit. And voila.
I love it! Keep going! Keep going! I love it, man!
If you want to try it, go to drinkag1.com/PatrickGavia. You'll get a free morning person hat and a free AG1 flavor sampler along with your first order. Let me know what you think. I'm sure you'll like it. We're still rolling. Oh, shit.
Moments after Lesnar walked out of the interview, he addressed the speculation about steroid use.
I have never failed a drug test.
Look at the size of his head. He's taking that makes your head grow. Okay? That's what they give the pit bulls.
There was no testing back then.
Oh, yeah?
You got to realize that the testing back then was horse. Because the early days of the UFC, there was a lot of guys doing steroids. And they still passed drug tests because they knew how to cycle off. There was camps that had doctors who knew exactly what you could take and what you couldn't take and how much to take and when to take it. Why wouldn't you? When to get it. Why wouldn't you? Because the rub was that everybody was doing it.
Brock, it's great to see you. You just made an interesting comment to Joe when he said, "Hello, champ." He said, "Not yet. I'm not the champ yet." Why do you think that?
I'm looking for Frank Mir. Yeah, absolutely. I need a rematch with Frank.
And that rematch would finally happen at UFC 100.
When the ring bell to bell, I have a lot of respect for Lesnar as a fighter. He's a fierce competitor. It's when the bell was over with is what the person I don't like. It's before the fight and after the fight is who I don't have any respect for.
You need to hit harder, Brock. Only losers think in what ifs and could have been.
Man, I hate that guy. Okay, I'm done.
There was a lot of built-in anger in me just knowing that I gave him that first fight.
The loss against Frank really burnt a fire under my ass.
For 17 months, I waited. For 17 months, I imagined what would happen in a rematch. For 17 months, I couldn't wait to get my hands on this guy.
Is this a revenge match? You're right, it is.
When the wait was over, I did everything I intended on doing. I beat Frank Mir to a pulp, took him down to the ground, and smashed in his face so bad, the referee had to stop the fight.
Up against the Frank's in big trouble. That's it. Trying to finish it. That's it. Ortina's down. It's all over. He's out.
I wish the referee would have let the fight go on a few seconds longer so I could have gotten the satisfaction of punching Frank in the face a few more times.
Please listen to that dumpster talking trash.
This was the greatest time in my life. And then, I almost died.
From the UFC landscape, we welcome Brock Lesnar to the program alongside UFC President Dana White. Fellas, it's great to see you both. Brock, I want to start with you. Again, you were going to make this title defense against Carwin in November. You were then sidelined with a major illness. What happened?
One night I woke up and I was in severe shock. I had 104 temperature and felt like I was shot in the guts. And
My doctor came into my room and said, listen, You've got diverticulitis.
Diverticulitis is a gut condition where small pouches that form in the wall of the colon become inflamed or infected.
Then I had a rupture of one of my diverticuli, which means I had a hole in my stomach. And I was releasing gases into my stomach cavity.
Forget about the career side. This guy was looking at a completely different, a different life, a different quality of life.
The doctors knew who I was and what I did for a living. That means they knew that cutting me open would end my career.
If your fever doesn't go down, I'm giving you antibiotics right now, a lot of antibiotics. I'm going to give you 8 hours. I'm going to try to save your fight career, but if I can't, and I gotta save your life, I'm saving your life before I'm saving your career, son.
I spent the next 7 hours in the hospital with 104.3-degree fever. The doctors started discussing the surgery. It was becoming a life or death situation.
They were wheeling me into the operating room. I remember them prepping me for surgery. I woke up and I said, "What's going on?" And he said, "We were just about ready to cut you open, and you broke your fever." I was in the hospital for 11 days, no food, no water, fed intravenously, lost 40 pounds.
Worse than any pain was thinking about the physical condition I was in. I didn't want to look in the mirror because I was afraid I would not recognize the man looking back at me.
Most of my life, I went through life living the warrior code that I'm indestructible. And when you get defeated by something other than a human being, it humbled me. It was an eye-opener for me. It made me appreciate life in general.
For Brock Lesnar, a big question will be, not only has he taken a long time off of fighting, but he is coming off of a very serious ailment.
I was a bit nervous for the fight. It had been a full year since I was in the octagon.
A big question will be, how much did that ailment take out of Brock Lesnar? If anything, is he 100%? Because if he's not 100%, he could be in big trouble.
Shane rocked it.
After Shane had the shit out of him, where they could have stopped it, let's be honest.
Easily could have stopped it.
How badly hurt were you? My bell was rung. What's going through your mind is, let's get out of here.
Lesnar survives the early onslaught for now.
I don't know how to describe it, but all the time Carwin was pounding me, it kind of woke me up. Made me remember who I am. 2 minutes into the second round, it was all over.
Brock Lesnar has done it!
Literally 8 months ago, I wasn't sure if I was going to fight again. I just want to break down and cry right now, but champion can't do that right now.
My last 3 fights, I've kind of made it a huge statement that I'm going to be a tough guy to beat, but there's always a sleeping giant under some rock somewhere, you know?
When I look at all of the different heavyweights that I've personally seen fight, Kane stands out as the best. And his ability to put a pace on guys, you would see these guys just wilt under the pressure.
I call him the Terminator, man. This guy absolutely, positively will not stop until he finishes you.
This is a very intriguing fight, and you talk to pros, the majority of professionals have picked Cain Velasquez to dethrone Brock Lesnar. Cain Velasquez is the smaller man, but he is the more technically sound man.
The question tonight was, would his size and strength and athleticism be able to beat this well-rounded, gifted fighter?
Why did I lose that night? Plain and simple. On that night, in that arena, Cain Velasquez was a better fighter than I was.
Dana, you have a new heavyweight champion. Brock Lesnar just lost to Cain Velasquez. Did you ever expect that the fight would go down like that?
Yeah, that's exactly how I thought the fight would go down.
So that's when his book ends, right before the story actually gets worse. Brock's diverticulitis returns, but this time he can't avoid the surgery.
May 27th of this year, I had 12 inches of my colon removed.
7 months later, Brock was back. The UFC throws him straight into the fire. He's set to fight another physical specimen, Alistair Overeem.
Here I am in a pretty big fight.
Here, Alistair is a big man. How does that concern you?
He's a big man, but I don't think that he has what it takes to beat me on Friday night. I really don't.
Brock, some people are saying if you lose this fight, the 2 losses in a row, you had some time off.
I'm sure Dana will fire me.
I landed the kick and then I could see it hurt him. Then I knew I got him.
For 2 years, I had to lie to myself and lie to all of my fans. I had to get up every morning and say, "You feel good today. and I didn't. You know, I was trying to be a championship fighter and was struggling with a lot of different things physically and mentally because of that.
Look, Brock Lesnar, I mean, he had no business fighting Alistair after he came back from that surgery. He had no business fighting Kane. He just was not on that level. But if he learned to get on that level,
He beats all those guys.
He beats all those guys.
He has more talent than all those guys.
All those guys.
Brock retires and leaves the sport for 4 years.
In my mind and in my heart, I never lost to a foe. I never lost to my opponent. I lost to the diverticulitis. That was my opponent that beat me.
Do you think that will be your legacy? And if so, are you happy with that being your legacy?
No, I want to be the best heavyweight champion in the world. That's what I want to be.
Bro, do you think we'll see Brock Lesnar back in the UFC? No.
Start tonight with the story that's still rocking the MMA world. Alistair Overeem failing the drug test with severely elevated levels of testosterone.
It's with great pride today that we officially announce the details of our new anti-doping policy. UFC's goal for this policy is to have the best anti-doping program in all of professional sport.
Look, we were jumping into this issue in a very aggressive manner, and any fighter on a roster now has the potential they could be caught. There could be major fights that fall out, and we're prepared to deal with that.
And then USADA came along, and you saw physiques melt. You saw dudes who were just
But Brock and the UFC weren't finished. One event and a fat paycheck was all it took to bring him back.
This is the moment UFC fans have been waiting for.
What's up, everybody? Good afternoon. The biggest, baddest fight card in UFC history, UFC 200.
Brock would face the Super Samoan Mark Hunt. And somehow Brock was granted an exemption from USADA.
The UFC granted Brock Lesnar a special exemption on drug testing, which is insane.
What? What?
Yeah, I don't think that's fair. I think that's a lot of bullshit. I think that's rubbish. I don't think anyone should be exempt from testing. If they're trying to clean this sport up, mixed martial arts, this is a bad way to do it.
Does no one think this is fishy?
I do.
Wow.
Hey, man!
What?
You can't do that!
I think he's juiced to the gills, and I still think I'm going to knock him out.
I've been dealing with that my entire life. I'm a white boy, and I'm jacked. Deal with it.
But Brock is not the one who gets caught.
The UFC organization was notified tonight that the U.S. Anti-Doping Agency has informed John Jones of a potential anti-doping policy violation. As a result, the 3-round heavyweight bout between Brock Lesnar and Mark Hunt will become UFC 200 main event.
It's really unprofessional of anybody at this caliber for something like that to happen, I guess. What else do you want me to say? Merry Christmas to Brock Lesnar.
Brock goes on to win against Hunt, but the win quickly gets overturned.
The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency says Lesnar tested positive twice for a banned substance. Reportedly for the same substance Jones tested positive for.
It's the end of Lesnar in the UFC.
People thought that maybe it was a negotiating tactic by Brock.
No, he's done. He's made his decision. I know that he was looking at doing a new deal with Vince to stay with the WWE.
It was a very hard decision for me. I'm at a stage in my career where I want to... It was just hard. It was hard for me.
In a time where the lines were blurrier, Brock took the biggest risk of his life to prove to himself that he had what it takes to win in a cage where nothing is scripted. To this day, he remains the only one who has ever pulled it off. But what made Brock so tough in the first place? Farmer mentality. Available for members right now is a breakdown of how growing up on the farm in South Dakota forged both the physique and the mentality that made Brock unlike anything the sport had ever seen. As always, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you there. Take care.